Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Justice. I've had the pleasure of being a guitar player for several years now and playing with different gospel artists and jazz artists. So I just figured it'd be great to start a YouTube channel to kind of answer some common questions that people ask me, to be able to discuss different musical ideas, answer questions about different licks, styles, recording, session work, all that good stuff. So anyway, if you have any questions, always feel free to write them in or comment them down below. But without further ado, I thought I'd just kind of walk through some of the tones that I use and kind of what makes my sound my sound. And if you have any questions, once again, feel free to comment them down below. So right out of the bat, the amp I'm using is a 1968 Fender Bassman. I love this amp to death. It sounds so big and beautiful while keeping the clarity. A lot of people hear the word Bassman, they're like, oh, that can't be used on guitar, but a lot of the iconic recordings were recorded through a Bassman. So currently I've just got it mic'd up with a little 609 and an EVH cabinet. I wanted to use some gear that everybody can get their hands on. And so those are just kind of industry standards. You can have fun with that. Now, with that, I always like to start with a good clean tone. So if I turn everything off, here's just this. Very nice. It's very warm. I usually run my clean tones a little bit warmer than other people. I was once told, as a guitar player, if you're going to make your tone loud, it's your job to make it pleasing to the ear. So if you want to be a quiet player, then you can have, the brighter clean tone. But if you want to play loud and full and exciting and full of energy, then that's something that you definitely want to think about. Maybe cut a little bit of high end off, bring some of that warmth in. Now, I have been a longtime user and lover of Strymon Effect pedals. I just want to kind of walk you through some of the main ones that I got stuck with and love. The first one I'll have is the Big Sky. So the Big Sky is a reverb pedal. It's the Cadillac of reverbs, I like to say. It's been on the market forever, and things still can't quite compete with it, in my opinion. It's one of the best out there. Now, here's some of the reverbs that I have. These will be available for purchase shortly. I'm actually pretty excited to have reverb packs and effect packs going out there into the marketplace soon. So without further ado, here's kind of my reverb sound. So it starts off with the short reverb. Here's none. Here's the short. It's really subtle. It's just perfect for little punchy things. Gives a little room feel. Versus without. It's almost not noticeable, but it's very pleasing, makes it a little bit easier to play, a little bit of butter on the pan if you would. My medium reverb, this is my go-to reverb for almost everything. It's using the Hall setting, and it's not too long, but it just gives a little bit of room and good feeling to it. So that's the medium. Really nice. It's super versatile for a lot of good stuff. You can get good funk. So it just kind of opens it up a little bit. It's really nice because it handles distortion well as well. So here's the dude. A lot of reverbs that I've tried kind of get in the way whenever you play a lot of notes or they get dirty. I like this one because it kind of stays out of your way but fills it up. I've got my long reverb. which is good for kind of church stuff, if you would, you know. I segue that's a cloud reverb, by the way. I segue that into a bigger cloud reverb, which is my my ambient setting. So that one's really beautiful. This is where the Big Sky really sold me on it. The other reverbs are amazing, but I love the swell machine built into the Big Sky. So this is my medium swell. I love that one because it's really nice when you combine different effects with it. So you can have just the clean swell, or you can choose to add a little dirt onto it. I'll put on the Petty John chime, and you'll kind of hear what it does with a little bit of dirt. It's just massive. I'm hoping that it gets across to YouTube just how big that sound is. If you're a worship guitarist looking for like a killer swell sound or a pad sound, the Big Sky's definitely got to be your guy. I also have a long swell. I affectionately call this my Hillsong Swell. It's just that real long droney thing. It's a lot softer. Nice long tail on that one. You just hope and pray that you don't hit any wrong notes. That will go on forever. All right, so now the next pedal is going to be the Strymon Vellante. Strymon Vellante is a great tape delay pedal. I'm very simple with delays. I like them to kind of stay out of the way or kind of add feel and timing. And so this is just my normal one. I have everything set to dotted eighth, even when I'm playing other genres, just what I like. So if I tap something, you can kind of hear how it like sits into the mix, fits into the groove a little bit. My other one is going to be my same ideas, just more, a little bit cleaner, a little bit punchier. This is my just more setting. And here's probably like 4, almost 5 repeats in there. And if you tap that in, get kind of I like to combine that with the medium reverb usually. Alright, next pedal is going to be the Mobius. Strymon Mobius is a great pedal. It does like multi-effect modulation, but it still maintains kind of analog sound, which I really like a lot. So right out of the gate, I've got my chorus sound in here. It's kind of subtle. I like my effects to be able to be used with each other, so right now I've got the medium reverb, short delay, chorus. It also stacks really well with gain. Killer sound. That's the J-Rocket dude with the chorus. Next up is my vintage trim. So I had a 64 Princeton. It was a brown one. I loved that amp, but my favorite thing about it was the tube tremolo that was in it. So what I did is I used the Mobius and I spent time trying to match them exactly. And so I got it to the point where I couldn't tell a difference very much. And so this is my 64 Princeton vintage tremolo patch. So you'll hear that. You can also do tap with that one. So if you want to do helicopter trim, you can do that. You can also go super slow with it. Kind of get a little more vibey. Next tab, I've got my Leslie. So Leslie is pretty cool because I have two sounds on it. I've got a fast and I got the break for the slow. So this is the fast section. And then break. So that's kind of cool to play with. I use that a lot for different blues stuff, different recordings. Basically when you don't want to haul around a real Leslie speaker, it's pretty great to be able to have it there. Got the Univibe. That's kind of for the Jimi Hendrix kind of beatly tones, the more classic blues stuff, where you got that real swampy kind of thing. So you got the... Once again, that's set with the tap tempo, so I preset that's kind of slower, but it's also... Alright, so those are most of the sounds that I use with my Mobius. Obviously, there's a lot that it can do. Tons of different sounds and options there for you. So if you're looking for a great modulation pedal, Strymon Mobius, really hard to beat it unless you've got tons of space to have all these analog effect pedals and units. So anyway, I'm controlling all these guys by my Morningstar Mc6 as well. It's a Mark II. I use it for MIDI. It does really good stuff, so I can dial in a preset if I need to, or I can control stuff on the fly. It just makes it quick and easy to manage all those presets, so I'm not constantly scrolling through stuff in a live setting. Anyway, so I've obviously got the most important pedal on the board, Polytune 3. It is my go-to for tuning. I just think that most players really undervalue what it means to be in tune and how often you should check your tuning when you're playing. Nothing's worse than an out-of-tune loud guitar player. Anyway, let's go on to the gain section. Right now it's pretty simple. It's always shuffling through. There's a lot of great pedals out there. these are just some of the ones that I've been using for the last couple months that have really stuck on my board, been staples for me in big parts of my tone. Anyway, so first one is going to be the Petty John Chime Mark II. Here's without. Here's with. Super nice, little chewy, little bit of grit, but not too much. It obviously can do more if you want it to. I just like to use it as kind of a light gain for real, like simple one. Now, I rarely stack gain pedals, but one of the things I do stack with everything is my RC booster. So I'll put that on top of whatever I'm using when I want to boost or a little bit more gain, a little bit more mid-range punch. So here's without, just the Petty John. Here comes the RC booster. Gives it a little bit more mid, a little bit more chew. On to the next pedal is going to be the J-Rocket Audio Design's Dude pedal. Really great D-styled pedal. It's styled after a very popular amp that is very expensive now. I like it because it does a little bit of everything. You can go from Larry Carlton, Robin Ford, all the way up to, if you want to get into like 80s hair metal with this pedal, you could. The gain sweep on it is super versatile. So based on the gig I'm playing, it'll definitely change settings and move. I love this thing. It's been on my board for a while now, and I honestly have very, very few, if any, complaints about it. So here's what that sounds like. Great sound. Now listen to it with the RC booster. It gets better. I call the RC booster like the secret sauce. You can put it on anything and it just sounds so good. Here's with the RC booster. Now, I happen to have the RC Booster version 2, which is awesome because if you need more sauce, you can add more sauce. Here's the second with a little bit more gain, a little bit more volume. It gets a little brighter, which I kind of like, and it'll cut through in some mixes really well. Sloppy noodling there. Anyway, it's a great sound if you need more, just need to cut through a mix. It does really well as well with the delay and more effects. So here's like a ambient reverb, long delay with the Dude and the RC booster. You'll kind of hear how it still cuts through. It doesn't get muddy, doesn't lose it. Takes you to outer space. I love that. Anyway, so that's kind of the main gain section. Now I've also got this micropog. I only use it for octave down stuff, but it really kind of just adds a nice little... It also works really, really good with gain, so you can do some nice... Very cool. Love that thing. I don't use it a lot, but when I do, it's one of those moments where the whole room is just kind of shaking, feels great, sounds great. Anyway, so on to the last pedal on the board is going to be my Slapback Delay. I use a Brigadier style analog delay from Homebrew Electronics. Love this thing. It's called the Mimic Delay, and it just sounds like this. Once again, stacks great with gain. Super cool pedal. Anyway, the board is all powered by the Strymon Zuma, great power supply. If anybody's looking for one, it puts out a lot of power and it covers a lot of needs in different bases. Now, for my I.O. box, I had Brian O'Million out of McKinney, Texas, at the Guitar Sanctuary build me an I.O. box. So it has stereo in, or I'm sorry, mono in and stereo out. It also has a tuner output if you want to go just direct to a tuner. You can also do mono to stereo summing. So I go out of the Big Sky into that box stereo, and if I'm using 1 amp, I'll run on mono. If I have 2 amps, it's just one flip of the switch, no extra cables, no nothing, and then I'm running in a full stereo rig. So anyway, that's the board. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was super fun for me, and I'm excited to do more content. If you have any videos that you want to see next on how to play, different scales, different musical ideas, feel free to drop in the comments below. Make sure you also subscribe and click on for the notifications so that you can know when I upload stuff. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, see you next time.